back to the Jay's Fit Down Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Gay. Today, we're going to be talking about the Baltimore Ravens and how they can get over the hump and why I believe they will make the playoffs in 2023. This is a team that made it last year. And everybody's kind of expecting them to, you know, to not do it again or to not have to, they're expecting them to have a down year. So we'll talk about Baltimore specifically and things they've done this offseason and why I feel like they are going to be a team to watch out for in 2023. So before we get to that, guys, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. We're on YouTube. We're continuing to grow our channel. So please help us and support with that. And also on Spotify, all Apple Podcasts, all these platforms, we're on there. We're available. So if you're working out, going to the gym, whatever you're doing, please make sure you, just pop us in there. Search us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever platform you use to listen to podcasts. Jay Sit Down and check us out there. Also, I'm going to attach a link down below in the description. But we are now partnered with SeatGeek, so please make sure that you guys use our code for $20 off of your first purchase on SeatGeek. So make sure you guys do that. You go into a concert or something and you want to knock some of that money off of that price, these crazy ticket prices, and use our code JSFitDown Pod. I'm going to put it in the description as well. And so just throwing that tidbit in there for you guys. So we're now partnered with SeatGeek. So here on the podcast. But back to the Ravens. You guys think about this now. Baltimore, since Lamar Jackson has gotten, or since he got drafted, really, that the Ravens, when he plays, they're a very good team. Technically, their record is 45-16 when Lamar Jackson is a starter, 4-8 without him. That's evident that they need him to be on the field in order for their team to be successful. Now, historically, the Baltimore Ravens are a great defensive team. We all know John Harbaugh's defenses. They're really tough. They're gritty. They're going to get after you. They're physical. The pass rush has been good. The secondary guys, you got good corners back there. Traditionally, and this team in 2023 will be no different. I feel like, especially with guys like Kyle Hamilton, poised to have a good season as well. He started only 4 games last year, but I expect him to have more of an expanded role as we go into the 2023 season. They're for former Notre Dame product, and also trading for Roquan Smith from the Bears was a huge move. Why the Bears moved on from him still to this day, I don't quite understand. I did a video on the Bears a while ago. You guys check it out here on the channel. But I just didn't understand the move for Chicago. But hey, you move his contract off the books, and the Ravens were willing to take it on there and bring in a guy who's got experience, a very smart linebacker, and he's tough and great in coverage as well. And so, a win is a win, and that was a good move for Baltimore to get him over there. And they add him to that great defense that they have. Patrick Queen and Odafe Owe, as well, David Ojabo. They got some emerging guys there on that defense. But offensively, like I said, Lamar played only 12 games last year. They went 9-4 or 13 games because he went 9-4. The team went 9-4 when he was the starter. So he played 13 games last year out of a 17-game season. He missed 4 games. Tyler Huntley was a starter for those other 4 games. The Ravens did end up making the playoffs and played against the Bengals in the wild card, but they lost. And it was a big Sam Hubbard play, the fumble. Everybody remembers that play. But I really want to applaud the Baltimore front office for what they did addressing the receiver position this offseason, signing Odell Beckham, for a year, having him come in, a veteran wide receiver who's been there, won championship with the Rams, a guy that can still get it done at his age, at that level, produce numbers for you, not superstar numbers like he was in New York, and he was like 25, 24, whatever, what I'm saying. Now he's a little bit older, but he can still give you solid numbers for a veteran receiver, and you add that to that core because you look at the Baltimore receiving core, they have not really had any production outside of Mark Andrews, and he's the tight end. So they've never really truly had a number one receiver. Marquise Brown was supposed to be that guy. He never panned out to be that guy. They ended up trading him to the Cardinals. Rashad Bateman injury issues. He has to be able to stay on the field a lot. But he's a solid receiver, but he still was not supposed. He was not that guy either. They thought he was. He was not. You know. So the Ravens have got to be able to establish an identity with their receiving core. We all know what they can do running the football. J.K. Dobbins when he's healthy, Lamar Jackson when he's healthy. That's it's hard to game plan for that rushing offense. It's one of the best in the NFL when they're at their full capabilities. But the passing game. This is a passing league now. You have to be able to throw the football to win in today's NFL, today's college football, today's high school football. You got to be able to throw the football to win. That's just how it is. It's just a matter of the game. All the spread offenses and spacing everybody out. Just getting your athletes into an open area and space, and that's how a lot of teams are attacking now, right? And so now defensively, you got to be able to counter that. Offensively, you have to be able to produce that in order to keep up with all these teams. Especially in the AFC, you got teams like the Chargers, the Chiefs, um, the Bengals. I mean, even the Steelers, emerging, right? So, and with quarterbacks that are very talented and can throw the football. So the Ravens have to be able to match that, if not be better. So that's my whole opinion on that. I really think it's possible for Baltimore. I mean, it's not impossible. Todd Monken is the new offensive coordinator. They hired him away from Georgia. He's a guy that loves to throw the football. If you remember his time calling plays for the Buccaneers, so I'm interested to see how he's going to implement his style into the Ravens offense with the players they have. I mean, they also drafted the speedy wide receiver Zay Flowers out of Boston College, a guy I was very high on in the draft. I wanted the Falcons to pick him, but they didn't. But he went to Baltimore, and I think that's going to be a great compliment to the receiving core. So now you have Bateman, Zay Flowers, Odell, and Nelson Aguilar, who they also added in free agency, a guy who's been around a bit, won a Super Bowl with the Eagles a few years ago, most recently played with the Patriots last year. So they obviously addressed the receiver position. That was a big point of emphasis for Baltimore this offseason, and they did that. So now it's a matter of can they put that together? Can Lamar Jackson stay healthy? Well, can they be able to throw the football efficiently? Maybe not excellently. Maybe not. I mean, now I see you go out and have for as a team have like throw for 400, 500 yards a game, but enough to keep up. So that's just what I asked, and so that's can the Ravens do that? I think they can, especially again with the targets that they acquired for Lamar to throw the football to. And you look at it, um, the Ravens wide receivers since 2019 have only averaged 107.3 receiving yards per game, which is dead last in the NFL. Demarcus Robinson was the leading receiver for the team, and he had in the 400-yard ballpark range of receiving yards. That's atrocious. So the Ravens have got to be able to produce at that position. They've got to be able to score, with uh, pass catchers. It's not hard. I don't think it's hard. It's not impossible, but it can be done. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, but I think they did a good job when they went out and got some of these guys. So because you address something that you need, and now it's not just Mark Andrews getting the ball every play when it's a passing down. Now you have other players that defense has to watch. Hey, watch out for Zay Flowers right here. They might run a little. They might run him deep down the middle of the field for a post, or now we got Odell. He might go for a slant and go right. You don't know what's going to happen there. So that's the thing about it. And I think Baltimore again. Like the defense is good. It's always been good. They ranked 26 in passing defense last year, something they do need to improve on. But that's again injuries play a role in that too. So when Marlon Humphrey, the former Alabama Crimson Tide, representing there, Marlon. When he's out on the field, he brings a lot to that defense. And again, with Kyle Hamilton emerging as a second year player, it's going to be the defense is going to continue to be the way it is, and I expect them to continue to make plays. as they always do every year. They get a lot of turnovers. They're physical. That's just how John Harbaugh defense is. So again, Baltimore is in a position now where they have to win. I think they're going to. I think they finally get over the hump and win a playoff game this year. And that's a bold take. Hear me out. I think they can do it. I really do. When you look at the team, it's built to do it. Everybody has to stay healthy. Lamar Jackson has to stay healthy. He signed back with Baltimore. Everybody was wondering, was he going to leave? He came back. Him and the Ravens, they agreed on the contract extension, right? So that made it clear that he wants to stay in Baltimore. He wants to win. Even though they offered him the most money at the time on the market, but I still think him having those ties to Baltimore played a role in that. I think he wanted to be here and win a Super Bowl uh, in or with the Ravens. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Definitely. But the AFC is very competitive. It's extremely competitive. You got teams again like the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Bengals. Like it's every year. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers, throwing them in there too. Maybe the Broncos can do a little something. Who knows, right? So the AFC is always going to continue to be so heavy with contenders. So it's important for Baltimore to get ready, saddle up, and go out there and play some football, and be able to pass the ball efficiently. Unless they if they don't do that, they're not going to win. It's that simple. Um, but in other news, NFL has suspended four more players for gambling. Also, Isaiah Rodgers, as we all know, was one of them. Another Colts player too. Offensive tackle for the Tennessee Titans. I can't remember his exact name, but he was also suspended. Not for gambling on the team or anything involving with that, just before doing it while at the facilities as well. So the league has made it clear that they do not like this gambling. It's a problem for them. They're trying to make it. They're trying to get this message to the players like we don't want you gambling. So it's we don't want you doing it. Especially if it's involving with the team and or yourself or other players. And these guys still haven't gotten the message yet, and now they're suspending these guys for a year. And it does hurt. It does hurt, especially these guys that are stars or very valuable players to their teams, and they're missing time because of the gambling things. It's just the nature of the beast. It sucks, but it is what it is. I think Lee has some things they need to work on themselves as far as that's concerned. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. What are your whole thoughts about the gambling situation in the league? Um, I mean, just what's going on with that and how they're handling it, suspending these guys for a year, for a season, for doing these things. So. That just about wraps up for today's podcast, today's video. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Hope everybody has a great and safe 4th of July weekend. If you're traveling, stay safe on these roads, in the air, the planes, whatever. Have a great time with your families. We'll be back next week here on Jay's Fit Down. Make sure again you guys check us out here. And also, again, don't forget about SeatGeek. Use our code for $20 off your first purchase with tickets. So make sure you do that. I'll leave it down in the description below. But thank you guys again, and we will see you next time.